Now, discussion questions for hurricane. Discuss how a hurricane travels across Africa and moves toward the United States. Where does it get its strength to travel so far? Discuss disaster relief efforts for hurricane victims. Are there volunteer opportunities in your community? Assignment Discovery now presents Hurricane.
Homes crushed by giant waves. Boats pulled from their moorings. Trees bowing down, almost begging for mercy. Mother Nature has unleashed a hurricane. On average, 2 hurricanes strike the United States each year. 1/3 of all U.S. hurricanes hit Florida. Hurricane comes from the Spanish word huracán, which means big wind. They sometimes spiral toward the Gulf of Mexico from the Atlantic Ocean. In the Pacific, the same storm is called a typhoon, a Chinese word meaning great wind. In the Indian Ocean, this storm is called a tropical cyclone, from the Greek word meaning to go around. A hurricane is a tight spiral of clouds. From the sky, it seems like a mystical formation, but its fury is unmistakable. As the North Atlantic Ocean heats up between June and November, otherwise simple storms can begin to transform into raging hurricanes. Hurricanes are born when the ocean surface reaches 80 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. A hurricane is formed within regions of low pressure, created when air heated by the ocean's surface expands and rises. This warm air rises in the shape of a column high into the atmosphere and creates giant thunderclouds. As the column of air rises, it absorbs more heat from the sea surface, and its winds start to blow faster. As the storm builds, it starts to feel the tug of the trade winds blowing southwestward toward the equator. These prevailing winds start the storm spinning. As the storm grows even larger, it spins faster. Seen from Earth's orbit, this tightly packed storm system reflects sunlight back into space, making it a dazzling white. When the winds reach 74 miles per hour, the storm is strong enough to be called a hurricane. The winds shoot up over the top of the hurricane and fall down through the hole in the center, the eye of the storm. The eye is a column of air between 3 and 40 miles wide. It's so calm that you can see up into the clear blue sky above. Hurricane winds and the action of the eye of the storm produce higher than normal tides and huge ocean waves. This dangerous effect is called the storm surge, and it causes 90% of all hurricane deaths. In low-lying coastal regions of Asia, the price in lives lost from these giant storms can reach tremendous proportions. In 1991, an estimated 138,000 people perished in Bangladesh when a 20-foot storm surge flooded the coastal islands. But U.S. hurricanes can be just as violent as their Asian counterparts. In fact, the worst natural disaster in American history was a hurricane. Using the newly invented movie camera, Thomas Edison captured the aftermath of the storm. On September 8, 1900. The sea level town of Galveston, Texas was hit, and by nightfall, half the city was underwater. Wind speeds estimated at over 120 miles per hour sent a 15-foot storm surge rushing through the town. The death toll was 6,000. Galveston learned the hard way, but now it is probably one of the world's best protected cities. Between Galveston and the sea is a 15-foot barrier made to intercept future storm surges. As an extra precaution, many of Galveston's houses are built on stilts high above the ground. On August 17, 1983, Hurricane Alicia tested Galveston's defenses. Though Hurricane Alicia was a more violent storm than the 1900 hurricane, there were only 21 recorded deaths. Officials in the small Central American country of Belize decided to protect against hurricane damage in a different way. In October 1961, the capital, Belize City, was almost totally destroyed by a 10-foot high storm surge from Hurricane Hattie. Afterwards, the capital was moved from the coast to an inland site called Belmopan. Only here, about 50 miles from the ocean, could the capital be safe. In the United States, more than 40 million people live along the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico coastlines. Yet 80% have never experienced a hurricane.
The outflow looks very
This is why hurricane forecasting is such a tricky business.
That's right.
If the forecasters give vague warnings, people won't take any notice. But if they press the alarm bells too often, the public may never take them seriously again.